All right.
Shade thing with the candy in it.
Oh, the
Pinata.
pinata.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Andy Ruggles. Welcome to the Town of Litchfield, New Hampshire Recreation Commission meeting for March 28th, 2023. First of all, we'll start with a attendance. With us tonight is Judy Brennan,
Present.
Peter Ames,
Present?
Andy Ruggles, present, Chris Burns,
Present.
Steve Weber,
Present.
Jeff Town.
Present.
Not with us tonight is Steve Gannon and Mike Bosky with previous notification. All right, first thing is the approval of meeting minutes. We don't have any to approve tonight, so we will table them for the next meeting, for the March 14th, 2023 meeting. Public input. We have nobody here tonight with the public, so we're gonna continue on to new business. When the first order of business tonight is the election of new officers. Peter brought up a point prior to the meeting, just stating that our bylaws say that, typically we do this in May. So I just want to take a quick vote to forego the bylaws and vote on this tonight. So I'd like to make that motion.
Second it.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 6-0-0. All right. So the first order of business is the election of officers.
I think we have to have Jeff.
You have to make a motion, let
have
Jeff.
Oh,
make a
yeah.
motion. I make a motion to have Jeff act as a voting member tonight.
I will second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain.
Did you oppose?
Motion carries
Looked like it.
6-0-0. All right. So the first order of business is the election of officers. We will start with, does it matter which order we go in, Steve?
Nope, usually start at chair and you go down.
All right, we'll start with chair. Would anybody like to nominate somebody for the chair position?
I will make a motion for Peter Ames.
Second. Discussion.
Peter, what are your thoughts?
I will try hard. No.
I mean, because it's been brought up to you,
Yeah.
have you thought about it? Okay, I don't want to, sabotage you. Sabotaged into secretary, it all happened before I knew what happened, so.
Yes. No, I appreciate it very much. It's been a privilege to be on this commission, and so I'd be honored to serve in the chair role.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, Peter's one of the longest tenured members of our board.
He is right now.
Yeah.
And I would be glad to have him,
Yeah, he'll bring
Steering
some good
the
leadership
ship.
to it.
so.
I would like to personally thank Steve Gannon for his years of service on the board and as the head chair, and wish him nothing but the best of luck on the Board of Selectmen.
Yep, and we welcome at the Selectmen having him with us,
Yeah,
even though we had to be remote last evening.
echo your sentiments. It was nice to have Steve. He did a great job. He really worked hard.
Kept it light, kept it fun.
He gave us a lot of things to laugh about.
Yep.
I'm gonna
He
miss
did.
that.
He put in a lot of volunteer hours, too.
We still have Judy.
Outside of the meetings. Hey.
George did a great job.
Costanza. All right. Is there any other nominations that anybody would like to make? Hearing none, I will take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 6-0-0, and I will hand the
No,
meeting.
He abstained.
5-0-1.
Oh, 5-0-1, and I will hand the meeting over to you, Peter.
All right.
Now Andy is a very happy man.
Very good. Well, first, I also want to thank Steve Gannon for his service on this commission and his continued service on the select board in town. He did do a fantastic job, not only running these meetings and keeping us organized, but as Judy mentioned, did a lot of volunteer work at events, being out in the community, doing a lot of the grunt work to make our facilities and fields better. So he did exceptional work, and I will try and carry on his impact on this commission.
And his coordination with conservation was great.
Absolutely.
It was really
It
good how
was.
he brought the two boards together
So,
between him and
Will he
Jay.
still drive the tractor? Because he's
Sure.
not going to be a rep on conservation.
I'm gonna vote
He's
no on it.
grandfathered in. Grandfather him in. 'cause
He'll have
there's
to
a
walk
lot of
behind the tractor.
cleanup with the tractor.
carrying Jay's water.
Oh, boy. Poor guy.
Before moving on to the other officer positions, I do want to say, how much I appreciate the mission of this commission and what we're able to try to provide to the town. The recreational opportunities are fantastically important for our sense of community, particularly for youth in town. And so, it's really our privilege to help create as many of those as possible, support the organizations in town that do such great work, such great volunteer contributions, and we're here to assist them. So I really appreciate the opportunity to serve in this role, and thank each and every one of you for your dedicated time and volunteer time for this work. Certainly impacts a lot of our friends and neighbors around town, many of which who have no idea that this body maybe even exists, but they see the benefit of our work throughout the community. So I really want to thank you all for your work. So with that, we'll move on to other officer positions. So I will open the floor for nominations for vice chair. And I will nominate Andy Ruggles for vice chair.
Okay, I will second.
Oh, come on.
Motion and a
He
second.
wants to be secretary.
Their discussion. Are there other nominations? Seeing none, we'll call a vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Run reluctantly, right?
Opposed? Abstain.
Aye.
Carries 5-0-1. All right, and then I will open the floor for nominations for secretary.
I'll make a motion for Judy Brennan. She's done such a beautiful job at it.
I will second.
Does anyone want the position? He'll take
Nobody
it.
can match the job you're doing.
Like honestly, I am so
I mean-
impressed how you pulled all the meeting minutes together for all of the years. Like it's awesome having you do it. Like I truly appreciate the work.
And
that
you
do.
dug through paper mites to get it all, and you were up in the filing cabinet up at Talent.
Oh, finding the old minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Found everything.
With the mice and the spiders.
Some of your favorite creatures.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do it, I would appreciate that again.
I'll make a deal with you.
Here we go.
No more comments about how much I talk. I'm kidding, yeah.
I can't make that deal.
You'd rather be secretary than make that deal.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or other nominations? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Abstain.
I abstain.
Motion carries 5-0-1. Thank you to Judy and Andy for continuing
you.
to serve in these roles.
You're welcome.
Deeply appreciated.
Your role is tougher, so.
I'll be leaning on you a lot, so don't worry.
We'll lean on him, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very good. So we'll move on to other new business. We'll talk about the Dry Bryant River Access, Brush Removal, Cleanup, and Conservation Commission.
I don't know if everybody saw the email that came from Conservation from Jason about some stuff that needs to be done down there with the brush, and I think there were some trees
There's
that.
a couple trees that were
of
too
them
big.
went- Yeah. I just thought if we could find a day where some people from each group could get down there, it could probably get tackled pretty easily.
So I was informed last night is a local tree company will be taking care of the trees.
Oh, great.
That's what Selectman Lynch said last evening. And I had already talked to the road agent about picking up the brush and chipping it for us.
Okay, so then,
I think we
It's
should be in
gonna be
good
our
shape once they
regular-
get down
okay,
to
should be
it.
good.
They were also gonna try to do some more with it, once the hauling machine got fixed.
yeah.
They were gonna try to get that out,
Okay.
get some of the stuff that Jay was unable to get
Yeah,
to.
and then just later in the summer, as things grow, it gets tough. I don't know if you've tried to come out of there and the stuff along the street grows really high and you can't see the cars coming. It gets-
So I think if we can get the road agent down there with the new hauling machine at a somewhat regular
Yeah,
basis, it will
yeah.
only take him a few minutes to actually cut it down. When we have the machine, we might as well just drop the arm, cut it.
Yeah,
I think it's more just giving the notice to the road agent, and he'll go
Okay.
down there and take care of it.
All right, so the trees are taken care of, and brush is just something we need to inform the road agent on
Yeah.
for the
And
future.
we did, when Jay started cutting it before the snow flew, I had let him know, and he said, just let us get through the plow season, we'll get down there and take care of it all.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
So any further action on this item that needs to be attended to?
I think we'll just open when all snow is gone and the
I think
water
usually
flows
we'd
down.
have the fire department go down and look at the level
And then they
of the
make
river and how
decisions.
fast it was flowing, and they usually were always the
Okay,
governing body to say, yeah, it's safe to go open it up.
Yeah, I have the key, so just let me know.
all right.
So whenever we think we want to get interim chief down there to take a look at
I
it.
can, check in with them if you want me to.
Sure.
It's a little early now, but
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let me jump back up to the fee policy. So I had her copies and left them on the printer, and so I apologize. I did send it around, but you may not have had a chance to review that yet. If you do, if you could please pull that up. What I want to do is kind of walk through the draft and get a number of questions for folks. I'm looking to redraft this based on the conversation today for us to review at another meeting before we have a third review for a final draft. So just for context, what we're looking to do here is set up some type of fee schedule that provides guidance on how and when we assess fees for organizations coming in to use town recreational facilities. This question has been raised a number of times over the years, and I think we want to move ahead to create a structure that we can reference back to as these requests come up, because they have been coming up more often and with more diverse requests, and so this will give us kind of a plan forward on how to approach those. So it sets up identifying the organizations that would not be assessed a fee, or the types of organizations that may be assessed a type of fee, and to talk about what those fees may look like. These fees would go to the Recreation Revolving Fund to be help offset budget costs that were not covered, or otherwise provide resources to the town. So this was based off of the policy that the Litchfield School District has for their own facility requests. They have a much more comprehensive request policy that touches on a number of things that aren't germane to us, or maybe just more complicated than what we need for our types of facilities. But these sections are meant to be reflective of the school district policy. So the first section on the fee categories, the first 5 you see there, those are the types of organizations that would not be assessed a fee, and I tried to build these in line with our bylaws on how we prioritize organizations when we approve usage requests. So these 5 are not in order of priority. Our bylaws address that, but these 5 would be the different types of organizations. Number 1, town of Litchfield organizations, so government-based organizations in town. Number 2, the recreation organizations, so all of our rec leagues. Number 3, school district organizations, so any of the sports teams. Number 4, Litchfield-based nonprofit organizations. So these could be recreation, sports, or not. These are just nonprofit organizations that are Litchfield-based, and with a membership consisting of a majority of Litchfield residents.
Such as Boy Scouts.
There you go.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
that's good. Yep. And 5 Litchfield community groups that be other nonprofit organizations in town.
I just want to mention something, because we have Litchfield School District, but nothing mentioned about other Litchfield schools, which we have in the past allowed to use our town property. For example, Christian Tabernacle School, and St. Francis actually used to use Talent Hall and do their talent show
Okay.
at no charge. And, it's not all Litchfield kids in those schools.
Yep.
But thoughts on including Litchfield, schools in Litchfield? Or were you thinking that if to start charging Christian Tabernacle for they use it for soccer practices or something? Or if St. Francis did request Talent Hall for, an event because.
They use Sawmill, don't
talent
they?
show.
I think they do use some.
Tabernacle uses
Yeah.
soccer, they use
Yeah.
Sawmill.
Yeah,
So I think they would fall into the 4th and 5th category as a
Okay.
nonprofit organization, so they're Litchfield-based nonprofit.
okay, all right. Yep, that's fine.
This all makes sense to me, Peter.
Yeah.
Are there any organizations that are not captured here that we would want to be sure we clearly don't want to assess a fee to.
So churches would fit in either 4 or 5?
Yes.
The veterans fall in 4 or 5,
Yeah.
probably 5.
Okay.
I would like to see some reciprocity, I think, with school district a little bit, if they use our,
They let us use the
Middle school.
middle school quite a bit.
and we're not charged
Not charged.
Basketball.
For basketball.
basketball for the middle school. Okay.
And I know
We
in the
were
past they've
charged
let
for
us
our
use the LMS baseball field for Babe Ruth.
Yes, they did that for that one season. We just had to get there as a rider on the
Okay.
insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought we were,
I mean, they're pretty
Ruths were
accommodating.
charged.
if-
Maybe at Campbell they charge, if you want.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever used anything of Campbell's,
No.
but we used LMS, we've used GMS. They let rec soccer use GMS.
I don't know how much availability there is at Campbell either. Like,
Yeah.
the gym is packed like 99% of the time.
I mean, actually, at one time, I think baseball took care of the GMS field.
Oh, really?
That's where the scoreboard used to be. That snack shack is pretty much baseballs. All the stuff inside of that is baseballs. Half of the shed used to be baseballs. If you go down there, it still has LBA signage on the field, yeah.
So do they charge the rec?
Yeah.
Okay, they
They
don't.
didn't charge anybody for
No.
that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess the big question now is coming up with the fee schedule itself. Like, what seems appropriate and.
Yeah, well, let me review the organizations
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
would,
sure.
that would, be kind of under the purview to charge a fee to.
Yep.
So the first would be established rec organizations with less than 50% youth from Litchfield. So community groups such as cultural, recreational, fraternal, patriotic service, and duty established charitable organizations. So this would really cover those out-of-town leagues that want to use our fields.
I might even replace that with for 50% youth.
I was
and say
thinking
Membership.
50%
residents.
Membership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less than
Or, yeah.
50%,
participants.
Participants, yeah.
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 And then they'll have to give us some sort of backup that this is,
Like pickleball does.
yeah. Yep.
So pickleball is at 32% Litchfield
Right
right
now.
now, but they have shut it down to outside. So, and they've always been really good to us. I don't know if we want to start
No,
charging them.
they've been very good.
So,
They are good stewards of.
or maybe they're grandfathered in, right? Like the softball team we let practice last week is kind of grandfathered in. If we pass this, we're not gonna go back and charge them, right?
No, no.
No,
right,
I mean,
right.
it'll
Correct,
be-
but I
it'll be
think
a
there should be
waste,
a
yeah.
conversation had that, it would be nice to try to get towards that 50% membership.
I think
you
they're
know.
working on that, and that's why they
Okay.
shut down that,
Yeah. I just
the
think it's,
outside. And if people miss their registration date, they don't give them any extra time. It's like if you miss your registration date, you're out of town, you're out. They made it clear.
So in the
So I
pickleball.
see that growing.
In the pickleball example, I think that they would be covered up in number 2 as a Litchfield-based recreation organization because it doesn't have the 50% qualifier. The 50% qualifier is really for other organizations,
Yep.
not rec organizations. So if you're Litchfield-based recreation, you would not be
I
charged.
guess I don't know what that means. Does that mean the officers live in Litchfield or at least
Well,
one?
the
or-
Litchfield Pickleball Association is under us, the rec. When they had started out, they tried to get under Hudson Rec, because most of them were from Hudson, and Hudson
Okay,
said no. They came to us and they said, we have Hudson and Litchfield people,
okay.
can we be under, they actually became like rec sponsored, I guess, or
Yep.
just like our other leagues. So they're based out of Litchfield.
And they are a nonprofit.
Yeah.
All right, so jump back down. Oh, sorry, your comment? Okay. So yeah, A is meant really to be those out-of-town rec leagues primarily, but there's others that would capture under there.
Just from a question, what would happen if they go, if it's 60%, where do they fall?
If they're in out of town and they have 60%.
Out of town and they have 60%.
60% in Litchfield?
Litchfield. Hypothetically, the Plex softball team. Next thing you know, they got 15 girls, and 60% of them are from Litchfield.
Yeah.
Because that could happen. I mean, where would they fall in this whole hierarchy?
It would be free.
It would be free, but they would be lower.
But it's a for-profit.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
for-profit.
for-profit.
They have
See,
a
that's where I have a
for-profit
thing, if
with
they're
60%,
for-profit.
right? So where do they fall within the whole hierarchy of it? Because now you're getting into that gray area, right? It's for-profit, but a majority of it's Litchfield residents.
So maybe just make any for-profit business billable.
Sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're gonna have to do something to that extent. Doesn't matter what content
Doesn't
you have
matter how
in
many people are
Litchfield.
from Litchfield.
Yeah.
If they're for-profit,
Yeah,
I feel like they should be paying.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the next two kind of get to the for-profit piece. So one is private promoters, really vendors at an event. If there's a vendor at an event that's making a profit on a portion of their sales, they may be assessed a fee. So if they,
How do we monitor that, though?
so there'd be a group, as this reads, they'd be sponsored by groups, I really should just be they'd be sponsored by an organization that we granted the field to, and they'd be responsible for
So,
notifying us.
so like Fall Fest.
Yep.
If the barbecue truck comes down, are we charging the barbecue truck, or are we charging Fall Fest, or who's what? Who put that on the Litchfield, Christmas in Litchfield, right?
usually the trucks, I believe, pay a percentage of their
They
profit.
donate a
To,
percentage?
and it goes towards the, Spirit of Litchfield, I believe.
So they donate a percentage of their
And I
profit.
think we could
But we
say
don't
that.
track their profit.
I mean, could this also be somebody who wants to hold a concert down there? Private promoter
Yep,
that
right.
wants to hold a concert.
That'd be a for-profit.
That's it. Private promoter receiving a percentage of profits and sponsored.
But yeah, I think the gray area there is if you have a Litchfield community event that has outside vendors coming in, you know, how do you?
I think we
how
just
do
do what we did
track
before,
that?
you know, give a certain percentage back to whoever was doing it. Isn't that what we did during Fall Fest? It was like 10%, 30%, everybody gave a different percentage back.
Yeah.
That seemed to work.
That is what we did, but
Yeah.
we weren't tracking their sales, so we just.
No.
No, it's,
Yep.
yeah.
And
we're
then
hoping they were
vendors
honest,
paid
but-
by the table.
Vendors paid by the table, that's right. And everybody else was just a kickback.
Yeah, as long
Which
as
I'm
it's
fine
going-
with. I'm fine with
Yeah,
something
I'm
like
fine with that too, as long as it's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
back to a group
Yeah,
in
right.
town.
Yeah.
So is there language that would clarify this point?
So, I'm not really good with all this, so I'm just gonna ask.
Throw it all in,
Litchfield Baseball wanted to have, a summer camp. Somebody come in and run a summer camp that's obviously for profit, but if Litchfield Baseball is sponsoring it, do you know what I'm saying? Like soccer does, right? They have somebody come in
Yeah.
and they're having the scouts and stuff, but it's sponsored by Litchfield Soccer.
I guess the person who's making profit, the Litchfield Baseball would be paying, or the participants within Litchfield Baseball would be paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd probably classify that still under LBA, right? Because the kids would either be under the insurance of LBA,
Right.
or the individual coming in would have to carry insurance for all the kids once he or she took payment.
Yep.
And I think we have had those companies I've gotten, or whoever has run those, I've gotten their insurance.
Yep.
They've sent it to me, so I just don't know where that falls if. one of
I think
our
we're gonna find a lot of
organizations-
gray area with that.
Yeah. Wants to have someone come in and,
So Peter, maybe.
I mean, if you look at comedy night, it's a fundraiser for baseball and softball, but you have to pay someone who is profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris, and then I'll.
I was gonna say, to answer your question, I think maybe it just has to add something along the lines of, you know, for-profit businesses that are under a Litchfield community or Litchfield Recreation
Litchfield's,
need to,
Litchfield's,
are required to donate a portion of their profits or something along those lines. Or the league can pay something.
Yep.
Donate something.
I guess the
Good play with that.
fundraiser's different though than, because our Litchfield groups are getting money back off of,
It is, I mean,
That-
it's almost
yeah,
like
so
saying
it's
you're
a little
running a
bit
concession stand, right? You're buying products, so you're giving money to somebody for profit, and you're reselling it at a different rate. That's almost like a comedy show, right?
yeah.
We paid somebody for a product, and we resold the
Sold
product.
tickets and.
but you guys are nonprofit, softball or
Correct, yep.
baseball.
Yeah. I was just going back to that example
Yeah.
of it.
So B says categories A and B. Is that
That's a typo, yeah, just category A.
just category A? Okay.
So let me suggest this, so I want to come for word input, so I will take a crack at redrafting this. I think I have a sense of where folks want to go. We certainly want to encourage these type of events and it'd be a fundraiser for the organization in town. But if there's a straight up profit piece, that some portion of that should go back to the nonprofit org. Okay.
I think it's a good start.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
For C, this is really the other for-profit organizations. So if they're doing a straight up, fee for whatever, if it was like a for-profit concert or.
That makes sense.
if it was
I thought we said churches would be included in the 4 or 5, in the groups 4 and 5 in the top part.
If they're Litchfield churches.
Yeah.
Litchfield
Okay,
community.
Litchfield based, and this is, would be outside of town.
Yeah.
Okay. And the political organizations would be in town or out of town, or
This could be in or out.
in or out? Okay.
All right, this next one I added on, because this kind of has come up over the years.
Many times.
Yeah, so how do we feel about this one? For Litchfield residents who request town hall for a private function.
I feel like the groups, recreation groups who want to use Talent Hall, we don't have space for everybody, all those groups and when they want to use it. I just think that space is tight. And it also depends on what time of year it is.
Yeah.
So, so I agree with that. The scheduling of, around that and the other leagues that are in there that obviously get priority, I think is gonna be a challenge in itself. But then it also leads to people that wanna rent the pavilion or something along those lines, people wanna use a pavilion. We add a fee to that, and,
And
The
then they
condition
get
of-
private
yeah,
insurance.
the condition of Talent Hall, I don't know if I'd really want private events in there.
And then you have to worry about cleaning and.
Cleaning and maintenance and,
Is that any worse for private events than it is for nonprofit
depends on what it
organizations
is.
that are there?
Depends on what it is.
I think
Yeah.
what we've
Yeah,
had
you
so
get-
far, we pretty much
Yeah.
take care of it, everything that's.
Yeah, the leagues that are in
Yeah,
there are
everybody
taking care of
knows.
them.
If you got 100 little
themselves.
kids in there with like for an ice cream birthday party or something, and then the floors are covered with,
Yep.
cake and ice cream, and then
Yeah.
you got to figure out how to clean it all.
Somebody wants to bring a petting zoo in there and doesn't tell us,
Call Gannon to clean it up.
I don't know, Chris Wexler was pretty good in that.
He was amazing.
Oh, while we're talking about cleaning, we do have a new janitor's helping out while our custodian is off on medical. And he was in there, when were we in, Sunday morning? Sunday morning, he came in to clean, and he was very impressed at the job that was done the following Saturday cleaning it. Because he thought he had a huge undertaking on his hands. That's why he came in early on a Sunday morning to do it, and pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So for the next several weeks, we will have somebody else cleaning the facilities.
Right.
Okay.
Very good. So playing devil's advocate, because I think, the sense is kind of what we've gone over the years is like, it's just not worth it to do it. And it opens up a can of worms. However, we have had requests from residents, if we charge a fee that would cover those costs of cleaning, the, insurance that we'd have to take on or whatever for that. Is that something that we want to do? If there's no conflicts on the calendar?
Yeah, subject to availability, and if we want to include a fee for the janitor to come in.
I think we have to figure out whatever
that
his
event.
hourly fee is and say something like, charge 2 hours, because we don't know what kind of state it's gonna be left in. but then the other thing is the insurance.
The insurance is a big part of
And
the
how
maintenance.
does, I don't know anything about this, so like, I don't know how if I wanted to rent, town hall for a 50th birthday party or something, what kind of insurance do I get?
I think you would have to go back to Primex and ask them what type
Yeah.
of rider would they want in order to do that from a liability standpoint.
Yeah,
So, I mean, when someone goes to rent it, they have to cover the insurance piece of it, the cleaning piece of it, and whatever else we decide. So, I mean, it
And
could get to the
alcohol
point that
rider
it's
if you're
not
having
cost
alcohol.
effective to do it, right?
Right.
it, and then if,
Little VFW.
Yeah, Primex does sell single event insurance.
I worry about liability too, because even though you have insurance riders and stuff, there's always ways around it. I feel like if one of our rec participants gets hurt, I mean, they all carry insurance
Under
and
the league's
list the
insurance.
town
Yeah.
too. Is it different with someone private?
Yeah, I think it's a good Primex question.
I think
Like,
it's
I
really
have,
a
I
question we
have
need to
no
ask.
idea about
Who
that
require
kind of
insurance.
stuff.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
definitely a question we need to ask.
Yeah.
And the other thing I heed caution with is, once we allow this, we can't say yay and nay based off of groups that we don't find palatable. That's the tough part, because once you open up for one person, you gotta open up for everybody. That's the only other thing we gotta keep in mind, that
But
if an
you still have
organization.
the hierarchy, so, I mean,
Correct.
if the field's used, or the only tricky part is that you approve it, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, then softball comes in, it's like, oh, well, we need this for a tournament that day,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we already have it rented out,
Yep.
sorry. You know, like,
You know,
One question I do have, and not that this would ever happen again, but we did have recycled percussion. And they are for profit. If something like that came back, what they did is they took 20 or 22 of our students in town.
Yeah.
School shopping.
Plus they
new
gave
clothes,
back.
Coats, backpacks, you know, all of that. So I am sure that that added up to a certain amount of money. So we didn't see a financial benefit from it, but we had 22, I believe, students in town who were in need of help, who got that help as a result of that.
I think the rec commission did get.
I think we got some,
around
yeah, I think we got
Several
a
hundred dollars.
percentage
I think it
of,
was 10%, and then a certain percentage went to help the under-resourced individuals.
which we used to pay for, like, the porta pot, extra porta potties.
Correct, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It wasn't a moneymaker per se, but it didn't
Right.
cost.
Yeah, but then there were other
Yeah.
organizations like softball benefited because we opened up the concession stand,
Right.
so
And-
there were other, you know, and then the ice
The
cream
food
truck.
pantry was huge.
Food
'cause
pantry, we-
People, thousands of people,
Yeah.
there were way more outside of Litchfield people. Food pantry and 68 Hours of Hunger took we had 3 truckloads of food to
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So-
there was
to
a
deliver.
cornhole tournament, gave us a check for like $900.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want to make
Right.
sure
from
that something like that can fit in, and I don't know if there's a terminology we could use, or the discretion of,
Yeah, so that's language I'm gonna try and work on for that, letter C one. to
Okay.
make- To make sure that there's some kind of expectation that there's
Something,
yeah,
right.
there's some type of benefit, if not directly to the town's budget, you know, to the residents in some way, like the
Yeah.
example you gave there. So that, I'll try and capture that in.
Because the food
Sorry,
pantry in 68 hours, 100
Yeah.
was huge.
yeah, that.
That really
I-
helped
the-
out.
I couldn't believe the amount of food that people brought and that they remembered to bring the food, really.
To bring it with them.
Bring the food, that, it was unbelievable.
So we go back down to D, do we want to have this as an option?
I'm personally a no, so, but.
I think there's too many unknowns, and starts a precedence we haven't
Yeah.
dealt with yet, and then it would be tough to rescind. Maybe we see how things go with A, B, and C.
That's what I would think. Let's go look at A, B, and C, and as we get some traction on that, come back and look at D.
And,
The last point on C, private promoters for their own exclusive profit. Would we rent Talent Hall to somebody like that, but not to a resident?
Yes, as this reads.
Yeah, as it's written, but is that what do we want to do that? I mean, that could be, almost anything.
What comes to mind is maybe somebody runs a karate clinic in there or something. That's what I'm thinking of, but
Well, we had that group that
that-
wanted to do like a concert in there.
Bunch of kids wanted to do a concert. They did do it, didn't they? Would they end up doing that?
I don't remember, but they were gonna give us back like 10% of their sales or
Two
something
kids
like
came
that.
in and they were pushing
They
it.
ended up going to the school.
I think
They did at
they
the
did
school?
something different too, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think something like that, depending on what it is, you'd have to evaluate the,
Yeah.
it could be a fairly hefty percentage of their
Yeah.
ticket sales or something, you know, like.
That's why I think of like a band
Yeah.
wanted to come in for kids, right?
Yeah.
A youth concert night.
well, I think if it's something we're sponsoring, then we would fall into the upper
Other,
part,
yeah,
right?
this is for their own exclusive profit is how it reads.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted to run a summer camp for a couple weeks at Dara Pond.
Yeah. I wish we had a rec department that could do that.
Yeah.
Dream big, Judy. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
You didn't hear we voted Peter as rec director?
Rec director.
Director of recreation now for the town.
In charge of scheduling. No, that's gonna be Andy's new
unpaid
job. Scheduling. He's gonna fall under VP.
We're gonna give him a $1 stipend for it.
so I think, private organizations that want to do a for-profit event just to make revenue, we may want that because it may be a benefit to the residents in town to have
Right.
that opportunity.
But
So
if we sought someone out, it would fall under a different category. If we said, oh, we wanna have a
Sponsor
kids'
it.
day
If
or
we sponsor
family
it.
day, we would.
As long as we
yeah.
sponsor it.
And
Yeah.
we sought- right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So recycle percussion was really sponsored by the rec
By the
commission.
rec,
We
yeah.
took it on. Okay.
so the difference between C and D is really D would be for like Andy's birthday party that we're planning for him, right? And no one's allowed in, and it's just
Just Andy.
He'll be locked in by himself.
Just Andy's friend, so it's just Andy.
Should we have something specifically in the top part that says Litchfield Recreation Commission sponsored events? Because we have Town of Litchfield organizations, but we're a board.
Our board's an organization.
And when I read recreation organizations, I think of soccer, baseball, basketball, pickleball.
Well, it says Town of Litchfield organizations. We have police, fire, we could put Conservation Commission, we could list all the commissions,
Litchfield
committees, and boards.
Litchfield, yeah,
Right?
Litchfield boards. Do you know what I'm
So
saying?
we're a commission.
Yep.
Budget's a committee.
Then it's very clear.
Yeah.
Organizations, commissions.
Yep.
Boards, yeah.
Committees.
I was just thinking, if Erica and I ever renew our vows, we could have a reception at Town Hall. It'd be really. brought
An
that up.
all-nighter?
It'd be if we put D back on there. Maybe I am on for D.
You think she'd show?
No.
I think she's still regretting the first time.
all right. So we are eliminating D.
I think for the time being.
I think we can revisit it at any time, but
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. On to the money. What fees do we want to charge?
have you looked at any other towns?
I have not.
I did a while back. I gotta look through. I think I made a folder and,
I did too. At
Album.
one point.
but I don't. I gotta see if I can find.
I have the school districts.
This. Okay, I did. Oh, you do have the school.
Because they probably haven't looked at this in a while.
They charge. Oh, rec fees. Here, I do have some. Let's see.
So for the school district as a comp, they, had different fees for the different categories, which we don't necessarily need to do that. We could just make it a straight, this is what the fee is. But it's meant to really reflect, if you have a large organization or something like that, that it's,
Yeah.
and we've had small for-profit
Be on a moving
businesses.
scale, because
Yeah.
some of the people would be a lower, because they're more Litchfield-based, right?
Yep.
And as you go up, the fee should get more
Right.
increased.
Yep. So, I'll just use SEHS Auditorium as an example. So they, for kind of their lowest category, it's 25 hours per hour. And then goes up to 300 and 600 based on the size of the organization requesting.
Are there custodial fees added to that also?
Great question, and there are, on top of that.
Okay.
Yep. As well as like a utility charge for
Peter, can you repeat that? What was it again? What was the?
For CHS auditorium, their kind of smallest or lowest category was $25 per hour.
Okay.
The others was a straight $300 fee
Okay.
for an event, and then for a large organization, $600.
Okay.
Then there was a utility charge, you said, and a janitorial charge.
Yep. Yep.
I have some screenshots that I did of what other rec boards did in town, if there's interest in what they charge
Yeah,
for
if you have that,
fields
sure.
and, Merrimack for residents and town-based businesses. It was $50 for up to 4 hours of use, 75 for up to 8 hours of use, and 100 for up to 12 hours, a $25 per hour surcharge for use of athletic field lights. Of course, their rec teams are all free. Non-resident groups, and they list a bunch, up to 4 hours was $75, up to 8 hours was 100, up to 12 hours, 150. Again, the $25 charge for use of.
That's just fields, right?
And then, I don't believe they have like a talent hall.
Yeah.
Most towns don't. But what they require for insurance is $1 million general liability and $2 million in I cut off part of it. Aggregate and bodily injury, including death, is what they required in theirs. And Merrimack is cheap compared to some other towns, Bedford. They go into all their,
Yeah,
they have like
Amherst
percentages,
is
but
$25.
$75 for 2 hour use of fields. Lighted field is $150 for a 2 hour block. That's their non-town sports teams and leagues and all for-profit groups. And then they really break down their, if there's an associated league that has only 80% residency or 70%, like they get that detailed with it.
Yep.
This is,
You want to send that around to us, Judy, and then maybe we can use that as a basis to,
yeah, they're
Try to
just
fill this in.
screenshots that I took when I was doing research,
Yeah.
probably a year ago. Dairy for resident 15 an hour, non-resident 50 an hour. Tennis courts have a different rate, lighted fixtures. So everybody's, yeah, I can send you those. They're not like super neat and cropped and
That's
some
all
of
right.
them are highlighted, some
yeah, that's fine.
are not, but it's stuff that I found.
Better than what I've got.
Online. Wilton for field usage, $275 for 4 hours if you're in that second group. So,
So looking at, again, at the district's policy, it sounds pretty similar, where they have like $15 an hour for fields, like the baseball fields and soccer fields for, again, the lowest category, and then a straight fee of like $150 to $300. So if Judy, if you want to send it around, and I can send this around as well, and maybe between now and the next meeting,
Yeah.
I can map out a couple
mine will
ballpark
just be a
figures
little
for
bit
us to
harder to
compare
read.
to.
You gotta, like,
Yeah, I like that
you
idea.
just gotta,
That'd be great. Yeah, and then we'll get it in a place.
some weren't posted online, so I couldn't find them, but I just
Okay.
grabbed close by or towns of similar size.
Thank you. That's all I had in the fee policy. Anything else that is not, that we didn't cover in here that you would like to see or have questions on?
Nope.
All right, so we'll bring this back next meeting with a redraft and some potential numbers.
It was a good start. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Peter, that was great.
Sure thing.
I'm guessing those last three would probably all be the same.
BC and
No, the locations. Schaefer and Innes and Bissett Fields would all be, or would be
Yeah, I would think, I would guess so, but
same ballpark.
looks like that.
yeah,
Field's a field.
yeah.
All right, move on to parking signs.
So I put in for, asking for reimbursement for the handicap signs that are required. I purchased the federal sign for just handicap access, and we required one that said van access. So I have both of those. They totaled $44.90. I did not get the posts. I thought maybe a highway department or something may have something.
They should.
So I didn't wanna.
We're gonna need some
that.
concrete to set those too.
Yeah.
I think we should
But
reach
that's
out to
moving along
highways. see if they can
faster
do it.
than we
Yeah.
thought, so, I do have those, and they are the federally regulated signs.
Okay. I'll make a motion to reimburse Judy for $44.90.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain?
This is 501.
Well, I really do wanna vote yes.
I think you could have on that one.
Good.
So I think you just gotta give the receipt to Karen and she'll take care of you.
Yeah, anybody submitting for reimbursement, you need a copy of the minutes too that show that the board approved it. And it'll come out of impact fees, I think I put that in there. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Thank you, Judy. All right, moving on to field and facility requests.
So, real quick,
we-
I know we added the one that came in today, but
Yeah.
there's also one from softball that came in on Monday. That's not on here.
Oh, you know, that was for, I don't know why I didn't put it on there. I had it written down in my notes. It wasn't the field use one, right?
It's town hall, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'll look that up really quick. We can go. And the softball was in first.
On Monday, it came in on Monday.
Yep.
Do you want to just go over it real quick, Chris?
Sure.
Just so someone
Yeah.
has-
Sorry about that.
Yeah, not a
And then the
problem.
one that came in right before the meeting, we'll have to add to the agenda.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and,
Oh, I see
Chris,
it
go
right
ahead.
I
here.
think basketball came in first, because basketball was on Sunday, right? They came in
Yeah,
on
I
Sunday.
have, Sunday softball.
No, I put one in, I requested on Monday, sent a request in on Monday.
Yeah, because we were at the meeting on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, my email
just
says
send it to me.
Sunday.
You know what? I may have just sent this to myself.
It's March 26th. It came in on
Did
Sunday.
it go to the, I went to the RC. RC Litchfield.
It came in just after.
Sunday night, yeah,
Yeah.
Sunday night, you're right,
and
26.
basketball came in on Saturday. So let's just do basketball first, I guess.
All right, let me see.
I'll show it. Go ahead, I'll show it.
Someone have that open to speak to it?
Yeah, I do. So basketball is requesting. I actually have some information on it too.
All right, fair enough.
Talent Hall, beginning 4/3/2023, ending June 9th, 2023, beginning at 5 p.m. through 9 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Expected participants 30 from Litchfield, all from Litchfield. Basically, they want to just continue to do some more work. The coaches want to get in there with the kids to, their travel teams that they had last year. And I actually spoke to Trixie this weekend because there's some groups in there now. Soccer's in there on Tuesdays.
Soccer's on Thursday.
Soccer's in there Thursday. Baseball's in there on Monday. But I let her know Friday is open currently. And as soon as those groups are finishing up, which is going to be the next week or two, probably 2-3 weeks, something like that. I figure, if we approve this request, they can start using it as soon as those groups are out of there. And I do the baseball thing, so I'll coordinate it with her to let her know. And then I also know the soccer guys, so I can talk to them too and figure out when they'll be out of there. So that's it.
I mean, to make it easy, you just want to push the start date of it, then you don't even have to communicate.
Right. But Fridays they can have. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nobody in there on Fridays, right? Softball's on.
Not that I know of. No, we're just in there. We're in there Thursdays from 4:30 to 5:30. And then soccer comes in at 6.
And hopefully soon.
Soon we'll
Jim
be
will
outside.
outside.
Yeah.
We were talking about the softball umpire clinic? Okay, yeah, sorry, I saw it and I wrote it down and I just didn't transfer it to here, I'm sorry.
Hopefully, we're outside by the 17th.
Yeah,
I mean, that gives 3 weeks for the fields to dry out.
yeah. Jeff Lane still has snow on it. Like,
Does it really?
The miners field, yeah, it's covered in snow.
Home plate?
But yeah,
Yeah,
completely.
I figured that's shady
Home
back
plate,
then.
pretty much out to like the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, that's shady
Base
back then.
line's all covered. But, so it's gonna be a little bit on those fields, but
Major probably looks a lot better.
major's dry, like done. Like
Then Corning probably in the front field and the left field corner's probably a bunch of snow there.
it's empty.
That's usually frozen and everything. Even in June, sometimes we're kicking up frosty leaves.
I went by there yesterday. It's all open. But
It's
anyway,
crazy.
Are we good? Is there a motion?
so I will make a motion to allow basketball to use Talent Hall beginning 4/3, ending 6/9 on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, with a caveat that they can start using Town Hall on Mondays and Tuesdays once the other programs have finished up their time in there.
Second?
We have a motion and a second.
You wanna just,
Further discussion.
wanna just say that it's from 5 to 9?
From 5 to 9 p.m., yes.
All right, further discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? This is 6-0-0. All right, next we'll take the softball request.
Softball, yeah, so, we've requested the use of Talent Hall, for 3 hours from 2 to 5 PM on April 16th, which is a Sunday, to host an umpire training clinic. It's open to anybody, really in the state, I guess, that wants to
Anybody
learn how to
Babe
become an
Ruth style?
umpire for Babe Ruth, softball. So, they'd be coming in and going through a class and taking a test to, hopefully become patched and start umpiring for tournaments and rec league.
All right, get a motion?
I'll make a motion to allow Litchfield softball.
I'll second.
Oh,
Right. Discussion? And
So just so baseball and softball clinics go till 2:30, but we will just cancel them that day.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
That's what we were hoping for, and we may actually be outside by then too,
I'm really hoping so.
you know. And another thing, Chris, is having the baseball, softball family fun day that day. We might want to reach out to Jim and see if we can do it early in the day so we all can partake in that event that starts at 2:10.
That's the one at the Fisher Cats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's
I mean,
right.
Jim seemed to be very flexible. So we might want to reach out to him and see if he,
I don't have his contact information. If you do,
I'll get
If
with
we can
Mike
get it from
Campo.
Mike?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we can try to reach out and maybe if we could even do it 9 to 12 and then we'd be able to participate
request that came
in that event also.
right
Yeah.
Before a meeting.
I didn't see that flyer until after we
Yeah, I didn't
volunteered
either
the,
until the date came and all that. I was like, ah.
Tell you, we'll just end up doing it outside or canceling that.
That'll be
That's what
all.
I'm thinking. If everybody's at
Yeah,
the
the,
Fisher Cats anyways, right?
yeah.
Are we really gonna have the clinics
Yeah, we're
not.
that day?
So
So,
next week would be
yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
And then umpire clinic's gonna be
Summer.
nothing more than maybe tables and chairs.
And I'd anticipate, I've been to one before, I'd anticipate maybe a dozen people. It's not gonna be a lot. I wouldn't imagine it'd be a lot of people.
Yeah.
But,
But we're gonna try to drive it and help
I didn't even
get
see
more
that.
across the state.
Yep.
The umpire are getting old.
Yeah. Never new blood.
Yep.
Yep.
So if you know anybody who wants to become an umpire, let us know.
And there's a little conflict with the pickleball, but is this the time, one of those times they're not in there?
They're not in
No,
there.
they're not in there. It's all baseball, softball that morning.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Staying?
Passes 4-0-2. All right, next we have a request from LRBL Basketball League. From Trixie Garner looking for summer hours,
Outdoor courts.
so outdoor courts in summer. So I'm just reading this, so let me just give it a glance. Looks looking for the 4 basketball courts on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the evening from 6:19 to 8:14. I don't think we have any conflicts on those courts.
No.
No, that just, when is it? 6:19, so it's pretty much through the summer though. But the courts do get used by kids just going over and playing pickup ball too. I
How
work
many
out
total
there a lot
courts
in
are
the
there?
summer.
They're saying taking the first 2 courts, they'd leave one.
How many are there? There's 3 or 4, I think.
3, I think.
Three, I
Three,
think there is,
I
yeah.
think. So there would
So-
be one open still.
There were one
Yeah.
open, yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
right, yeah. All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second?
Any further discussion?
One question I have, and this might just be a typo, or I've noticed this on the form itself, once you open up the facilities form, and we might have to adjust this, Talent Hall is already checked off as the field of usage.
Yeah.
And it is on this form, so I'm not sure, are they thinking that if it's raining or they
Does-
can't play outside, that they'd go inside, or is it weather dependent? If it rains, they cancel?
It says down below, rain located.
It does, okay,
Yeah,
I
town
didn't see that
hall.
part, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's normally what they do in the summer too.
So, yeah, so we just need to adjust that on the form if anybody has access to do that. I don't know who manages this form, but,
Yeah, the blank form has that checked off?
yeah, when you open it up on the website, it's
Yeah.
already checked off for Talent Hall.
I should be able to fix that.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 600.
And I will reach out to, basketball on both of those items.
Great, thank you, Randy. All right, so we'll move on to old business, pickleball update.
So, yeah, so I know everybody's been made aware that, the progress that's been going on down there, they're moving right along. They graded everything out earlier this week. They were down and paved the first layer of asphalt onto the court. They even went above and beyond and put down 2 inches of hard pack in the entire parking lot all the way down to the fields, plus paved the driveway all the way in. So, that is awesome. That's huge. So,
That's great.
last night, the Board of Selectmen approved the expenditures for the 2 vendors that we approved the quotes on at our last meeting. I've reached out to them to let them know, that the POs will be coming any day now. I'm trying to set up a meeting with the 2 of them just to go over scheduling and expectations and make sure everybody's on the same page. Hopefully we can get that done sometime next week. And, once we know their schedule, we can pretty much go. From what I hear, the asphalt and the pavement, everything's gonna be done by the 17th of April at the latest. So, you know,
Wow.
they're moving right along, you know, barring another snowstorm.
Right.
But, yeah, they're moving right along, so that side should be done, and hopefully we'll be playing on it, sometime this spring.
That's fantastic. Any questions for Chris? Excellent job. That's great progress.
Yeah.
That's,
Thank you.
yeah.
Much faster than we thought.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So this season, people will get a ton of use out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Need to start planning a ribbon cutting ceremony.
absolutely.
The Steve Gannon Memorial.
George did.
George W.
George
Gannon.
S. Gannon.
All right, next, an update on the well.
Yes, I spoke with Natticook. The tentative date is this Thursday to get it installed. They are going to move it from the original location just a little bit. It's gonna go right behind the shed, just so they don't have to worry about the wires and taking them down.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, so, that's it.
All right, so this Thursday, and we'll see how it goes. And
See
that'll
how
be
it
that.
goes.
All right.
I
Fingers
believe you said
crossed.
in and out in one day, right?
Best.
Yeah.
That was
that's
in
what
one
we
day.
thought.
Hopefully we get a good flow.
Yep.
Thank you. And an update on Eversource. Who has that? Anybody?
I think that was
Gannon, probably.
George, yeah, I think that was George. I think it was Steve.
GG.
So I don't know if somebody wants.
All right, so we will request an update from Eversource for the next meeting. But has anybody been down there, seen any?
I know the dance floor has been put in.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
But I could also ask Ms. Kleiner to send us an update,
that sounds good.
because I know she's been working directly with them.
Thank you. All right, and renovations to Town Hall restrooms.
Steve sent out the estimate, I believe.
Yes, he did the other day.
Yeah. I'm looking for it now.
What did he say?
I got it here.
Yeah, Smith Plumbing and Heating quote.
Yeah, $2,480 for 3 new toilets, 3 Kohler 88 toilets, open front seats, also replace the men's lavatory faucet to match the recently replaced ladies' room faucet at Town Hall. The toilet flanges seem to be in good condition, however, if they find they're in need of repair, that'll be extra. Yeah, so $2,480.
And he did not recommend touch-free.
No, we're not, like, our system isn't set up for that, right? It's more of a home system than a
think
It
business.
is, it's, yeah.
Tells you how old it is.
I guess,
And he also recommended moving a hot water heater to the other side
yeah,
in the
get rid
office,
of,
so you can get the piping straight down into the bathrooms in lieu of coming under the stage.
all that extra piping.
All the extra piping, the heat tape that we're not sure if it works or not, and just locate it straight above the 2 bathrooms. You can just drop straight down, pick up all the hot water.
Now, here's my question. Do we have budgeted funds for this?
Well, we had, what, $6,000 added back in?
Maybe, but
we
that's
didn't
not there
know
yet,
what-
right? It has to
what we were
trickle
gonna do.
through.
We had
That,
8,000 added back in.
8,000 added back in,
But my thought on that was to save it for
once we know what happens with the
Once-
well and everything.
the well and let's see.
Irrigation heads.
Find out what opening ends
Yeah.
up with.
I think we need to open up the budget report and see exactly what we have per line item.
Yeah.
We all get that do you guys get that every week?
No.
Only the chairman gets it. I'll share it with you guys.
Maybe Steve got it.
Steve did it, I can share it with everybody.
Yeah.
Comes out on Fridays.
Because I think this is necessary work.
It really is, yeah.
I just don't know how it gets paid for.
But we have to look at it and see.
So it sounds like they're waiting on us to approve, right? But we want to check the budget first and see what else we
Yeah.
want to. So we'll hold on this at least until the next meeting.
Because we'll have to tell them a line on them to take it out of.
I'd actually move that instead of the pickleball courts, we actually name the bathrooms after Steve.
So thoughtful.
The George Gannon urinal.
Gagnon.
The little vestibule as you walk in. All right, I just sent everybody the budget report so we can see the line items for the rec.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
All right, so no action on this tonight, but we'll review the budget and come back to it at a following meeting.
What's the word for the porta potties?
Comfort stations.
Okay.
They're number one and the number 2 business.
We can call it the Gannon Permanent Comfort Stations.
All right, is there any other business members would like to bring forward?
Nope.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? We're done. All right, close it. 6:00. Thank you.
A lot in an hour. Must be Steve, must be the talker.
Hour and 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
Yeah, we did a lot.